You're listening to GUFON Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
GUFON Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
GUFON Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
GUFON Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You're listening to GUFON Radio with Rich Giordano.
All right. Oh, by accident, we got Samo here. Whoa, wrong person. How's that happening? Welcome to GUFON, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is Monday, February 27th, 2023. Last day of February. It's March. Few days. Best month of the year. Tonight, got a little special for you. Samo is now in the Coral Land seat, and there are connection issues. Keeps dropping out and coming back in. So, to give Samo a chance, any super chats, anything, if you have a question in all caps, Samo will... I don't think I told Samo, but I think you can flag them by just clicking on the star on that comment, and you can put it to the side, like on hold for me. We'll figure it out. Anyway, he's here, and he's all smiles and dials and ready to get your questions and or super chat, super sticker, PayPal, Cash App, anything you want to help support the show goes right into the show. And tonight we're going to talk about what it might be to know what it's like to have that alien agenda. What are they doing? Like, nobody really talks about what are they doing? Like, what's their agenda? Why are they still here? What are they doing? Why are they still here? Where are they going? Why are they still here? What do they want? Why are they still here? Are they still abducting us? Why are they still here? Can't they just leave us alone? What are they here? Take over the world? They're going to make us a special hybrid? It would be cool You see, you know the aliens aren't our friends, and I'll tell you why. They take us with impunity. They fly with impunity. They put things in our orifices with impunity. They take eggs from a female uteri. That's 2 uteri, or uterus. They take those eggs, put them in some sort of froth, and out comes a hybrid. And then 5, 6 years, 2 years later, you meet this kid in a dream or an abduction. It almost looks just like you when you were a kid. Except, the eyes are a little bigger and the skin's a little smoother and the lips are a little smaller and the nose are just holes and the head's Anyway, what is the agenda of the aliens? There are a lot of theories, and nobody knows the answer. Eric von Däniken, he tried using all those little pieces of the artwork, the puzzles, the books. Oh my. What we have here is alien technology. Nobody can tell me differently. Yeah. Prove it. Nah. I cannot prove that aliens did this, but human did not build the structure. I can't do his voice. First time I ever tried it. Anyway, when he came out with this first book, what was it? No, not Fingerprint of the Gods. That's Corey Good. No, Graham Hancock. Then he did the second part. But those 2 guys put out their first books and then came out with a second one to cover all the mistakes they made in their first one. And then they go, I don't know why I can't get a peer review on this thing. Well, maybe because half the first book was all wrong and speculation. And although I like it, I like all those books. And I champion forward, keep thinking there's going to be some real evidence popping up. Hey, did anybody watch the Theory of Everything interview today? It was from a week or so, 2 ago with Leslie Kean. I nearly watched almost the whole thing, except for the last 30 minutes. Yeah, it kind of got repetitive, and I was in the chat room having some fun, and people, I really wasn't negative in the chat room at all. I was just echoing what other people were saying in my own words. Like somebody said, oh yeah, we can trust Leslie Kean. Oh yeah. And I said, if you're going to trust Leslie Kean, you're going to have to trust Eleganzo, and I don't trust either one of them. Then some guy named James comes in and he goes, hey, GUFON, why don't you take your negativity and go somewhere else? And I said, why can't I give my opinion? Other people are saying the same thing. Who are you to tell me what to do? Kick rocks. Everybody applauded. Super chats were given to the show, but they were supposed to go to me. It was no, I'm kidding. But, people were like, hey, more negative than I was, yet I was the only one getting and you know what? I like it. I like that they recognized the GUFON. And I didn't lose my cool. I just came back with, smart answers that made them look stupid. I said, I'm the bad guy. Corbell can't have a re-verifiable UFO video for 2-3 years, and I'm the bad guy. Yeah. Corbell and Knapp and everybody's lying to you, even Elizondo, the bully, but I'm the bad guy. I was given that kind of narrative today in the chat room of Theories of Everything. I was trying he had it on the slow check because he had like 17 freaking hundred people there at one time live. And it was on slow chat, but people are just stupid. They just say shit to try to get you going. And I accept it now. I don't even care what anybody says. I don't care. It does not bother me anymore. I can't believe I've gotten to this point. Somebody, hey, Rich, hey, did you see this? Somebody sent me stuff the other day, and I'm like, I really didn't see it. Don't care. Not interested. Doesn't mean anything. Let them talk. If they have to talk about us, then that means they don't have any material to talk about anything new. So, and you know who we're talking about. All right. So it's been an interesting day. I've been watching Twitter on and off today. I'm not on a vacation, but since my parents, and family are away on a cruise, I'm kind of like having a lot of extra time to do some things and research and, try to get a little more educated. I'm not having any luck. I know Kurt won't mind if we played a few clips from the show with Leslie Kean, because I have to. Yeah, I have to play a couple of clips. It's a good interview. I was hoping Kurt would have gone a little different. Like she can talk, and just keep going on and on and on. Like Greer, you don't really have to. You just say one thing to him to start the show, and then he goes on for an hour and a half, and then he goes, "Any questions? Yeah, let's roll back an hour and 40 minutes. I have a question." Ben starting off super chats, £1, £1 super dono, first one of the night. Ben, a continuing supporter of GUFON. Mucho gusto, generos. Thank you for the support. There we go. Thanks, Ben. Mucho gusto, generoso. First one of the night. Wasn't there another one? I lost Samo. He doesn't have internet consistently. I don't know. There's so much going on over there. Poor guy. Like the nicest guy, Samo. I don't know anybody who has a bad thing to say about him. Always smiling. Just a really nice, positive person. I always look forward to his emails. Samo's here, yep. But I mean here, he was here to do the work of Coral Ann, now that he has that access to post things. But his internet's been going in and out. Anyway. All right, so today, with everything that's going on in the field lately, and you can actually say this and not be wrong. There's so much going on that there's nothing to talk about. Because it's just on replay. They keep showing the balloons. They keep talking about balloons. They keep talking about the China. I mean, no, can't we just move along? Really? Well, anyway, so I have to talk about this first for some reason. UFO Jesus says, should anyone be able to call themselves a UFO skeptic just because they make doubting proclamations? Okay, you understand what he said, right? Anybody can be a skeptic. Anyone be able to call themselves a skeptic because they make doubting proclamations. That's what he's saying. There it is, right? Then he continues. Does skepticism have any principles that should be adhered to, or is it a free-for-all? Well, I don't even know what that means. I'll be honest, I don't. Then he says, if someone thinks UFOs represent a scientific enigma, are they now no longer a skeptic? Oh my God. What the? So, he removed my comment? No, he did. No way. Maybe I didn't leave one. No, here it is. I said, that's probably the dumbest question you've ever asked. A skeptic is a skeptic because there's no proof. It doesn't matter how you word it. Just saying it doesn't change what a skeptic is. That's the thing with your side of ufology. You think just saying something makes it real. That was just before the show. Well, 5 hours ago it says, but felt like just a minute ago. That's what he's trying to do. That's what they're doing in this field now. You realize that, right? It's very strange. Look at what people are saying. Why such gatekeeping, says Rather Be Squidding. There's nothing special about skeptics or skepticism. In my opinion, skepticism should be most people's default position, at least lest they be easily taken advantage of. Right. Rather, very good answer, actually. Yep. So then, post-disclosure world, Jesus says, I'm not gatekeeping. I just think I don't think he's gatekeeping either. I don't know why that was even brought up. I just think it's a worthy discussion to have. I haven't yet solidified my position on this. I don't think the skeptical position should necessarily be perceived as objective, though. That to me is very misleading. Depends on how the skepticism is applied. Wow. Oh my God. Chris Spitzer says, the late Professor M. Truzzi figured it all out decades ago. That's how you actually spot pseudo-skeptics. I don't care. Seems legitimate to me to discuss the best ways to practice skepticism, and Chris definitely does that. Now we're questioning what is a skeptic? Are you serious? It's a stupid thing. It's a stupid conversation. It really is stupid. It's not good. Not good. It's not good. So Brandon Fugel is very, what's that? Zig Fugel? I mentioned the Führer only because he has made a post on Twitter. Yeah, check it out. I let him have it today a little bit. Probably. He says, my Sunday reading, look at this. Autostrada, The Economist, Scientific America, Epic Emmy-winning review. I don't know what that is. Wired. Wow, he is so... Right? I mean, I don't even have to say it. You know what I mean. He is just so... Spectrum. He is a spectrum. So I said... What a narcissist. Hey, Alex, what a narcissist reads for 100, please. I thought that was funny. Thank you. No, I'll be here. UFO Truth Digger pulled this out. There's supposedly a Bigfoot that was captured on a security cam. Check it out. What do you think? Real? Fake? Or real fake? You know, it looks good. It really does. You know, I mean, it kind of looks like he's sad. That face, right? Like he's like, it looks like he just stubbed his toe and his eyes are hurting and he's trying to smile, but he's in pain. He's doing one of these. Right? Something like that. Poor guy. Poor foot. Poor foot. Yeah, tonight's going to be one of those bad nights. It is. I noticed it. Yeah, it's going to be a weird night tonight. We may not even get to 1:30 tonight. According to UFO of God, Tim Taylor gave Bledsoe, Christopher Bledsoe, right? He gave him an OP pin or off-planet pin, given to those with direct experience with the UFO phenomena. Not many have these pins, according to Bledsoe. I did a quick Google search, and although the symbology on the pin is known, I couldn't find much of the idea of the actual pin itself. That is so cute. He got a little off-planet pin, his OPP. You down with OPP? Yeah, Bledsoe's me. You down with OPP? Yeah, Bledsoe's me. It says, the last time I shook out was a small jewelry box. I opened it to find 24-karat gold pin with a distinct triangle inside of a circle. It was almost exactly the same shape I had seen on the chest of the beings at our home in 2007. I picked it up and was surprisingly heavy. There was nothing written on it nor anything distinguishing some features, but One day I would learn that this symbol is a closely guarded secret among those like Tim, who work with the phenomena. It was known as an OP pin. You down with OP pin? Yeah, you know me. You're not a liar, B. Yeah, I'm Chris B. Short for off-planet, given to those who had direct experience with the phenomena. A small circle knows about them, and even smaller circle has them. Ooh, he's so unique and original. Christopher Bledsoe finally got recognition for being a... I'm going to play a clip from Kurt's show of Leslie Keene. This is where I thought it was really interesting. All right, let's get... This is... She doesn't know much about the Varginha case, you know? I was surprised at that. She didn't know much about Varginha. I mean, she knew the basics, but it's okay. It's not her gig. She also got into the afterlife, talking about that. All right. There's so many good things in here. I'm just going to jump around. Let's go to what she... All right, I'll just tell you what she thinks. Exactly what we all think. Except she gives accolades to, Christopher Mellon and, those people in that cult of ufology. He is not a cult, but the other C word of ufology. He's the of ufology. Something's weird right now. Yeah, the energy just got really bizarre here. All right, I want to talk about this. Skinwalker. I love how these people all support Skinwalker Ranch. They have to, because they're all friends. None of them are going to go off the beaten path and say, I don't find it as credible. She just loves Skinwalker Ranch. Like, who wouldn't? All of those guys have to give in to Ziegfugel. He is the power, and he is going to start a war. Ziegfugel!
You briefly outlined Skinwalker, as it's been mentioned a couple times, and I know that several people may be new to this whole phenomenon. So briefly, if you can, give an outline as to what Skinwalker is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a large tract of land in Utah that was purchased by Robert Bigelow back in the 90s, I believe, was studied by his group, which was called NIDS, the National Institute for Discovery Science, and then he eventually sold it, and now it's being studied by another team of people. But it was a location where a lot of paranormal stuff was going on, and so the studies that NIDS did extraordinarily accurate and detailed documentation of some of these events. And
this is where in the chat room I said, oh yeah, Skinwalker cache. Still no evidence. And I don't know, something else, but people didn't like that I said that. You can't say that because 80% of the people that were in that chat room today were from the other side of ufology, so I was on my own that time.
And the documents are with the DIA right now. I don't think or with Robert Bigelow, they haven't come out, but books have been written about it by George Knapp.
Anyway, that's not what I want to hear. I'm done. Done with it. I don't know what to do. Oh, this is it. Disclose. This is what I really wanted to play. The disclosure conversation.
Off the speculative end and say, what would be some of the reasons that the government would not tell the citizens of something extraordinary occurring, other than wanting the technology so that they can outpace China or Russia? For instance, one reason would be panic, but what would be some other reasons?
Yeah, I mean, panic is a broad term, but it could be this just sort of the destabilization of a society that might occur if people were really freaked out about it. I mean, I think that protecting technology is the number one. protecting data that we don't want our adversaries to have. But number two, yeah, could be the impact on society. Number three could be concerns about, going after people who have, trying to convict people or going after people who have been involved with keeping the secret over so many years, trying to take them to court or whatever, kind of a vendetta going on. A lot of anger that we haven't been told sooner. It's loaded. And I think if something like this does come out, wouldn't be a bad idea to have some kind of amnesty for those from the past who were doing what they thought they needed to do and were told to do.
First of all, nobody would need amnesty. Nobody would care at that point. See, she is doing what this side of ufology, the Ross Coultharts, the Bryce Zabels, the Travis Taylors, the Elizondos, the DeLongs, all those Christopher Bledsoes and Mellon and all those people. They think, and I had to correct it in the chat room, that, oh yeah, we've got a little bit of disclosure. I said, hold the phone. Disclosure is like being pregnant. You can't be a little pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not. You either have full disclosure or you don't. She says, oh, some people believe we've already had a part of disclosure. No. What did Dave Scott say that is? Confirmation. It's confirmation. It's not disclosure. Love that. That's what it is. It's confirmation, but it isn't the whole ball of yarn, lady. I am so surprised. She reminds me of like somebody who is very smart, knows the field very well, knows things, but still sounds like she knows nothing. Like she says, that's very strange. I had to put that out there. There's no such thing as a little disclosure.
But then, there's questions of crimes that may have been committed.
Oh, yeah.
People who were harmed or even killed. To keep them quiet. I mean, it opens up such a can of worms.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there's a way for something to come out in which the past is not dragged along with it,
Oh, Che Ragnarsson. Aliens, this is interesting. £5. Thank you very much for this super chat. Aliens have already taken over. That's why the world is mad. Or they've had a look and thought, these humans are mad. Let's go somewhere else. It could be. But I don't know. Hey, you're probably right. And you could be wrong. Right? Nobody knows. She's not very good at lying either. You'll see. Hey, thank you, Che Ragnarsson. See, the thing is, Che, and everybody, if the aliens have been here for a long time, 1,000 years, whatever, they know us. They're used to us. We've been madder than what we are now. We're such an awful species. The way we treat each other, it's awful. It really is. We are awful. Anyway, I'm not here for that tonight, but thank you. Che Ragnarsson throwing down the $5, £5, £5. Mucho gusto, generoso. Ragnarsson. Hey, what's up, Hellfire? Bob Berkins. Derek K. What's up, Mr. Kennedy? Robert Smith. Arrows Andy. Paul Geary's here, everybody. Zaktakismons. Anomalies and the real deal. The aliens are all around us. Yeah. They probably are. That would be logical. I have no problem with that. Why wouldn't they be? One of the theories is they can be in multiple dimensions, yeah? So. And poltergeist activity. Let's talk about that for 19 seconds. Could poltergeist activity be the energy from two dimensions being like, this is the point where they come into our dimension? It's kind of like the thing in the Terminator, wherever that ball comes in, whatever's in that area at that time will either be moved, destroyed, frozen, whatever, right? So maybe that's what poltergeist activity is, like when the spirit just, or the alien goes, oh, this dimension, and it pushes shit over because the energy's, maybe. I don't know. It's a good one, though. See, I'm wrong, but I'm right because we don't know. There's no verifiable evidence. That gooey's all over evidence. I love evidence, but there's none. There's little. There's good evidence and there's bad evidence. Why don't we have better evidence since, the best evidence is when the Foo Fighters were around. That's the best evidence we ever had. We got pictures of it, yeah? Didn't they have motion cameras back then? Motion cameras. Didn't they have cameras back then? I guess you have to say motion. Aren't there some Foo Fighters on video? There has to be if they had video. Not video, but, somebody's recording the war. Maybe not World War One, World War Two. I don't know. It's before TV, man. So I doubt it. If they did have a projector, it was the size of the plane, let me tell you that. It's amazing. What's this? Diane Boss, face blue. What is all these? Oh, these are all your emojis. Look how it shows up for me. Isn't that wrong? So stupid. Hey, Guy's here. What's up, Guy Merritt? Good to see you, man. She described some psychic readings that were extremely lame on the order of that Long Island. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's kind of where I was in and out. She was talking about that. Yeah, that was funny. Let's listen to that. Thanks, Guy. Good to see you. Is Wayne here? If he's not, that's okay. I'll say hi anyway. What's up, Andrew Scott? All right, let's get to that. I really like that. Oh, the Wilson memo. She knows a lot about that Wilson memo, too. Here we go. I think it's at the end, right? That's where I kind of turned it off. Well, let's take a listen.
I do. Yeah, I appreciate your candor. I appreciate that even when I ask a question that I know...
Isn't it this area towards the end, right? Please help me. Let me know if I'm wrong, Guy. I thought it was at the end. Hey, what's up there? Michigan UFO Wayne.
I hope that you can sense that I'm asking it from a place of curiosity and not a place of disregard or discounting or repudiation. So if I say like, oh, what color was the hand? I'm not trying to trip you up at all.
I didn't feel that way. If I felt that way, I wouldn't respond. So no, I feel your curiosity, and I'm hoping that the listeners will come from that same place. And, if they feel skeptical, which is completely understandable, I, again, encourage them to look at my book or look at the video of Stuart Alexander on my website.
I'm sorry. Guy, I don't know if anybody else remembers. Is this where she talks about the Long Island medium and shit like that? I think this is it. It's where I kind of turned it off, I think.
Right. It's a very well-produced video. It's really fascinating. And so Matt might, for those that are interested. And I just can't deny my own experience. I mean,
that's the key.
I'm talking about it because it's in my book. Mm-hmm. So it's there already. So,
Were there experiences you had to leave out of the book?
I would say at the time, I thought carefully about whether I should even include my own personal experiences in this book. Should it just be a more sort of science-y, journalistic, researchy book, And I knew that it was really risky for me to do that. But I thought it's not honest if I don't, because these experiences impacted my perception of what I was writing about. And they were part of the journey, and I thought they'd be interesting to people. And so I just felt like, and I talk about this in the beginning of my book, that it wouldn't have been honest for me to pretend that none of these things happened to me. And so I just decided I'm going to jump off that cliff and do it. At this point, I think of all the people who have come out talking about their UFO abduction experiences or paranormal encounters they've had with things. They've all taken a risk. People who, have written research books, like someone like Robert Hastings, who wrote the book UFOs and Nukes, and nobody would have ever imagined that he was an experiencer himself. So, people do that. People have done that, and I'm not going to be any different. So
I didn't see the answer. Is this where she talks about the Long Island medium? David Wilcox, welcome. Is a journalist from a lying paper any better than a lying ex-governor? Exactly. That's also what I was saying in their chat room today. It's we're talking about somebody who works right alongside Lou Elizondo, which she talks about, and government. Look, I don't blame them. They have no choice, but the choice they made is not one I like, because I do believe deep in my freaking soul that she, Lou, Mellon, and the whole clan of them, they're all lying. They're all lying. I think I could almost prove that I don't think I can, but I think I can raise a lot of speculation, because I do a lot of this, and I don't like pulling out all the stuff and say, oh, here's what he said. I got to put that together with that. I do a show every day. So it's hard to do the research. And then, oh my God, it's too much. So I just find the clips that I could find, talk about them, and then that's what I'm doing. I mean, they're good enough. And is this where she talks about okay. All right. See this? Hold on a second, Mr. Fessler. Hold on a second. No, I'm not worried. Hold on a second. Hold on. No, I'm not doing anything bad. All right. First of all, that is very unexpected, generous, and I would have to say a little suspicious. Why would you do this? I understand why. I told people the other day, because of your Super Bowl show, by the way, we both had a great night that night, that you were saying some things that were in the positive light. I spoke with the Cousins brothers. I told them it'll never fucking happen. And then I slept. And then the next day I talked about what I heard. And hopefully you got the message, and I think you did, because here it is. So, with that being said, and totally up to you, you don't have to. But if you want to join the show right now and talk, we can do that, or we can do it behind the scenes. That I will leave up to you. And that's up to you. I normally don't do that. I normally don't throw out a link right away. Usually I'll be like, but I will do it. You don't. Okay. I'm going to put the link in the chat just for you. Or do I have your email? I'd rather do it that way. Let me see. Let me see if I still have your email. I don't even know if I have it anymore. I don't know what I have. It should be here. I don't know. No, I don't know who that is. All right, just when you come into the chat, I'm going to post it in there. And I'm going to post it in the chat, and it'll be pinned to the top. If anybody else tries to get in, you're not going to be let in. So. See, this is something that Scambian wouldn't do. Tony wouldn't do. And anybody else. And you're the only one that spoke in terms that I would consider a new beginning. I don't even know what to say, man. When things happen like this, I've learned in the past that if I don't act on it, things won't get done. I'm pinning the message for you only. Not the message, the link to the show. So whenever you're ready. So thank you for the $20. I definitely appreciate it. And we will talk shortly. So guys, Thomas Fessler, probably public enemy at one time, public enemy number 1 and 2, is going to be, maybe, he said he would, but if he doesn't, I understand. Needs a few minutes to join us on the show. We've spoken before. You know how, if you guys know the history of the show, you know things were pretty good in the beginning, and then I don't know what happened. And that's kind of what I want to find out. Wouldn't you want to find out why? I really don't know. All this time. And because I thought we had a nice little friendship in the beginning. And then the next thing I know, 3 days goes by and I messaged him, from what I remember. Didn't get a reply. And then I heard some things, and that was the end. But we also know there was a lot of bad blood. A lot of things were said. I don't really know if I'm going to take anything back, and I don't blame him if he doesn't. But this isn't about that, I don't think. This is something like that, but I think what we're seeing here will show you that I guess anything's possible, because I said no with Dave Scott too. But this is much different than the Dave Scott. I mean, it's just night and day, but the link is pinned in the chat room. So we'll see. I'm in a I'm in a mellow mood, thank God. Couldn't pick a better night, to be honest. We'll wait a few more seconds. I'm gonna just play a little bit more Keen here. And we'll be back with Thomas Fessler.
Oh, I decided to do it. And
sorry, why would it have been risky for you to include some of your own personal testimony?
Just because, people think they don't, I don't know. It's good because it's strange stuff, and they might not believe it, or they might think I've lost my mind, or I'm.
Okay. So they would think that you're biased.
Well, not so much biased as that I'm just sort of wacky. They're just not going to be able to believe this. And they're going to think, well, she's really lost it. I thought she was like this journalist. But I'm also a human being who's had experiences, because when you really dive into something, you might end up having experiences. I wanted to originally, I wanted to test mediumship, right? I wanted to see, is there any such thing as a medium that can really do what they say they can do? I wanted to study that for my book as a journalist. So I found out who some of the absolute best mediums were. And I'm not talking about Stewart, I'm talking about mental mediumship we talked about earlier.
Yeah. And
I taped the session, not knowing for a second if any of it would mean anything. I thought it might be complete baloney, And I was so shocked by what happened. So it turned out to be a personal experience for me, right? But it was kind of built into my exploration and desire to study it. And sometimes you can't separate them out, you can't separate it. And so I tried to be as analytical as I could about those readings that I had, but I'm not going to pretend that they didn't have a profoundly personal impact on me. And so same thing when I'm writing about after-death communications, studies that have done on them. I have some other very, very credible people in the book who had amazing after-death communications, way more evidential than mine, who I write about. They're willing to put themselves on the line. So, but I think it was more a fear that, I just wouldn't be taken seriously by people.
Don't you think that's interesting? She would say such a thing. How can she say that? Oh, I don't, if I talked about my experiences, I don't think people would take me seriously. Are you kidding me? You're Leslie freaking Keene. Who's not going to take you seriously that doesn't already? Oh my God, that lady's loved by a lot of people. All right. So let's get Mr. Fessler. He's here in the wing. So let's have a nice chat. What is up, Mr. Fessler?
Mr. Richie, how you doing, my friend? I know you stopped watching my show, and I know you never stopped watching my show. So,
right. You should. Actually, people tell me everything. I really haven't watched yours, Dave's, or anybody. I can't because it gets me too worked up.
Oh, now that Rob's gone and the bootlicker senior is gone, it's a bit easier to deal with.
So I don't know how much you heard of what I said, but we had what I thought was an interesting, nice, casual friendship, acquaintance. And then all of a sudden, it changed. Tell me what I did or what happened.
Well, you didn't. It was a matter of things. There was something that happened where Rican was talking to you behind the scenes before an Asian girl thing going on, and then all that came out, and then Rican talked to Alien Girl, but then she told everything to you, and then everything that's been out of it. And Rican was a friend of mine, so I was just kind of being there for him to a degree. And then the whole thing with Lou just blew out of proportion. But there was the part with little dirty Ian, who sent you that video of that UFO he made up, and he had me go ahead and bring on the channel and show the video that he had made that was a fake UFO video
in the tree or something.
Well, he had made something where it was a UFO video out there, and he had an LED light in the background. He was doing something with Pepper's ghost, as you always call it.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. And that just took everything and blew it out of the water.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, why didn't you just talk to me, though? Like, you just went blank, and it's like, I'm not even going to ask Rich anything. I'm just going to believe what Rican Havoc says, everybody else says, but never even asked me.
Yeah.
That's what's confusing. And Scambian did the same thing to me. And now it's very odd. It's very odd. I understand people want to take me down and hate me for the things I'm saying that they believe in, or they think because I'm friends with Third Phase of Moon, I'm a
who worked
hoaxer.
really hard to take you down?
Yeah.
Dirty Darcy.
Yeah, I know. He tried striking me 13 times.
He
tried and Dolan too.
No. Leave me out of this.
And I appreciate that you didn't do that, and Scambian didn't either, and I appreciate that. We shouldn't be striking each other.
No.
That really
There's
is
something
the worst.
behind you that we all can come together on. And it's the crooked federal government that we're all dealing with right now, and looking at the situation that's there. You may see things one way, I may see it a different, but we can all come together and say, we've got a crooked government behind all this that's caused all this misinformation, disinformation. Some people look that way and other people look the other way. And that's their whole goal, to split us apart, because if we come together, we're unstoppable.
That's 100% right. That's why we get a bunch of different answers and mainstream media not knowing what to say. It's really very strange since the balloon thing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what to believe. But I don't think it's
follow your gut is what I always
I usually do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, man, I know you're friends with Dave, and Dave's really a good guy, and
oh yeah.
he he knows me, and we didn't really get into a deep conversation about you, just because he knows how I felt. Of course, I've calmed down since last 2 weeks ago, but no, I'm kidding. It's for months.
Give it a day.
But no, my skin has gotten so thick. I don't care what anybody says. Say anything you want. I don't even care. That's where I'm at. You're probably there too, but it only
need to be. Trust me, you gave me a good lesson in that one.
And I didn't even try. That was pure anger and hate. That's why it was just. I was really pissed, but I wasn't as mad at you as I was at Dolan and Darcy Queer for striking me. And Dolan doesn't know what's coming. I've got a nice little surprise for her. But anyway, yeah, I am not going to forget, but I can forgive, and I know you won't forget, and hopefully you can forgive. Oh. But I tell you, how do I trust you? I know what you're going to say. Go with your instincts. Do what you feel is right. It's okay if you don't. I understand. But why would I trust you at this point, man? What's going to stop you from turning on me again?
I guess this show right now is all me, just like your show is all you. You've got people who are on to help you in different parts of it. Before, it wasn't just me. I had a lot of influence coming from other people trying to control the content, what I could say, what I couldn't say, how I could approach that. And a lot of it's all changed since then. And it's primarily just me at this point. So you can kind of say, I can't trust you. I can't trust you. Give it time. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I wouldn't have the conversation if I didn't
say. I actually had a great text message I had put up there, but I didn't go in the freaking message. But it's basically, it's about let bygones be bygones. We've got something bigger here that we all need to solve, and it goes beyond all of us. And ufology, like religion, is splintered enough, and it's a matter of putting aside the things that make us who they are to look towards this larger thing we're trying to make happen.
You still talking to Lou?
Not as much as I used to since I got stabbed in the back.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Oh, yeah. I had Rob and Shannon go behind my back and say a whole bunch of really nasty stuff to Lou and Jennifer about me. Not that I was, and it just took stuff, people can take stuff out of context. You've got satire. I've got satire a little bit differently. You deal with the situation, and they just took something and blew out of the water, and it was all premeditated, and it was nasty. I'm just wondering where they're going to go to next, and their numbers are so high.
Their numbers are?
I'm joking. I'm being facetious.
I can't tell with you. You're very good at that. Well, let's see where it goes. And I'm interested. I see where this goes. I mean, I'm still in shock. I'm just sitting here not knowing what to think. You caught me by surprise. Well, I'm glad you did.
Well, I saw you up there on the stream and was like, shit, let's throw $20, say something nice to him, and try and go ahead and just make amends. Because I got a nice email from the Cousins brothers as well about the situation, saying about the stuff and saying it's bigger than all of us, and they appreciate me going ahead and saying a lot of the stuff. But what I said came from the heart. It wasn't me trying to make something up to make somebody happy. It's the freaking truth of how I see it. We have to come together against the government. Some people may like Greer. Some people may like Lou. Some people may like none of them. But you just have to say, we're all in this together. We all know there's something bigger here, whether there's a secret space force or there's just other shit we don't understand. There's one commonality in it. The government's lying and misinformation and disinformation they've been throwing our way for way too long.
God, I fucking hate Rob.
A ditto.
I really wanted to beat the shit out of him when I made those TikTok videos last year.
I know.
I was like, dude, let's go, man. But I know. And that was in response to what Lou said. I would take him out behind the house and, beat the truth into them. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah. Behind the shed, but yeah.
I know. I turned it into a barn. I don't know. It was just, it was interesting. That was an interesting time for ufology as well, especially with Lou going out the way he did.
Oh, yeah. Something happened. Something big happened.
Yeah, I think something happened.
And it was an operation on multiple fronts over stuff. Yeah, W. Decker, someone who's on my channel a bunch of times.
Oh, nice. Yeah, thank you very much. W. Decker. Here's some support from a good friend of Thomas. Glad to see his community trying to figure out how to heal and come together. Thank you. I appreciate that support and very good comment. Thank you.
Yeah, I was talking
to him. You were saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh God. That's where my ADD kicks in.
We were talking, I know I have it too. We were talking about Lou and
oh yeah, the whole thing where I went with Lou and oh yeah, there's some kind of an operation went down that I have some information on that I really can't talk about. Others saying yes, there was operations going on that were around the people who were supporting Lou that took place that result in my guess, I would say, in Lou going really, really quiet, and also resulted in if you want to call it what was that thing he had together again? Skyfort getting shut down. There was a bunch of stuff that all went on, and there was, I would call it, things that would question the reality of our American democracy that was happening. And this is where I always call it the deep state, and that we're dealing with something that's just a little bit more deeper than we ever imagined.
I imagine you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Greer a couple of days ago did an interview where he said it's not just that we have a black, but we have a secret black government now. So we, got the black government, then you got the other one. I don't know anymore. So that's 3 governments. One's supposed to be our legitimate one. The other 2 we're not supposed to know, but we do. I don't know where we're going. But this whole thing that just happened recently was, did you feel like it was a cover up the balloons and all that for what the train derailment was about? And do you think that's something bigger? Do you know anything else?
Not that I'm aware of, but if anything, it opened the doors.
How so?
Opened the door. Well, you had the balloon that got shot down, and then you had the craft that was going up over the ice sheet up by Alaska, which they found no evidence of. You have the other 2 that were shot down over the Yukon that they have evidence of. Then you have the other one that they couldn't track that was initially by Maelstrom, but eventually they took down over Lake Huron that they have no evidence of. No evidence because did they really shoot it down? Because the one thing you have to look at and question is there was another sighting in Pennsylvania a couple days after the ones that were in the Yukon that were the same 2 looking Tic Tac kind of things that were flying in formation.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because there's not footage of them all getting shot down, just the one.
There's
right?
no footage. Nothing's been shared. Marco Rubio said 99% of everything that's out there could be shared, but it hasn't been.
Wow. What does that mean? That means that they're just not wanting to show it to create mystery about it? You know what I mean? That's silly.
They're crooked. We're used to that.
But they're just abusing the shit out of UFOs lately. Everything is a UFO. Then I hear Lou saying, oh yeah, we've seen our government call them drones in reports. I'm like, I've never seen that. Then he said in another one, oh, they've also called them balloons. And I'm like, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Have you? Hey, where'd you go? No, I'm kidding. I know. But that's just strangeness. I don't know if you can hear me. I'll just let the audience know. I mean, that is strange.
Cupcake, who was on the recliner hanging out with me, I jumped, and she's going to be 19 in April.
Wow, she looks young.
Well, she's
what's her name?
Cupcake.
Well, that's Cupcake. Okay. Dog's awesome. 19. Holy crap.
I know. It's amazing when you're an energy worker and you can keep the things around you around a little bit longer than they should be.
Yeah, I think I did that with my dog too. Yeah. Kind of the same.
Show them a lot of love and care and everything, and it all goes someplace.
Yeah, my dog lived to 15 with diabetes. He went blind and had so many complications. But anyway, I don't know what else to talk about other than, you're here, I'm here, and hopefully we can maybe be an inspiration maybe to other people that are having same issues.
It shows that no matter what, when there's a bigger cause at play, that we can all put things, though. We can put on our big boy pants and put all of the other things aside and do what we have to do to solve a problem. Otherwise, we'll never figure out anything.
Yeah. And even though we think we know what we're talking about, we still don't. That's what I don't like. Here I am, 19 years.
It's also, so much of it is speculation based on words of information that are getting conveyed to us versus based on the facts that we should be working from.
But how do you know they're facts if there's no verifiable evidence, for those facts? That's what's frustrating, and especially with what Corbell's been doing.
Yeah.
That's another frustration in ufology, which I'd like to get your opinion on while you're here.
Forced to deal with the truth coming from the government. It's trying to deal with, it's like dealing with the Catholic Church about how they didn't deal with all the little boys everywhere. Are we going to believe what they're telling us or not? And the question is, you can't trust the government because look at all the stuff that's been going on in Ohio. Now you've got people who are coming down with horrible symptoms. They can't breathe. They're coughing up stuff out of their lungs. Their voice sounds like they've been huffing helium for hours.
Ugh.
And that's gonna start running into people freaking falling over. And it's in the groundwater, and you had the idiots there from the government going and taking the water out of the tap and trying to say, okay, yeah, it's safe. It's not.
Yeah, and then a news reporter or somebody put a stick in it and it turned rainbow colored. All the stuff came out from under the soot, whatever it is.
It's all tied together. It shows just how corrupt our government is, honestly. And it's a sad thing, but it's just the truth that we see on a regular basis. And we just have to recognize it.
Because you may know some things, knowing you've spoken with Lou and all that. I don't know what you know, but is Jay Stratton giving Corbell and Knapp all this information? Is he the guy that's leaking this
stuff? Come out a year before he actually did. He was
supposed to
come out in 2022, not 2023. And that was around that June time frame he was going to start coming forward, because if Lou's going to get up and testify in front of Congress, supposedly Jay is going to be sitting there right next to him.
Wow. I don't remember that, but it sounds familiar. That's crazy.
Because it was probably in the phone calls I had behind the scenes.
Okay.
The same thing about when Lou was talking about, we have UFOs that are coming in just out of nowhere, coming by our upper atmosphere, going down into our atmosphere, doing whatever they're doing, and then coming out and leaving at the exact same location that they enter the atmosphere. That's other stuff that's not out there, but I'm throwing it out there because we should be talking about it. This is the fact we have that aren't getting released.
That's interesting, actually. Yeah, I never heard that.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's an interesting. There's a lot of stuff around, and we all have our different views on Lou. I had an opportunity to spend a bunch of time on calls and just getting to know the guy and everything, and I think he's just someone like anybody else who's been through a bunch of shit and dealt with a bunch of shit, who got fed up with it and is just trying to do what they can do. And the problem is we attack the canary in the coal coming out of the coal mine versus going after the owners of the coal mine. And that's the government.
I know, but Lou is representing what they want him to say. So it seems.
Begs the question is, how much of what Lou was actually saying, was it really him saying it, or was it part of an operation that was going on for him to get out there to be a part of it? Because when then all the stuff happened with Manny and Area 503 and they got really close to home, everything was pulled out. Well, like an operation getting shut down.
Yeah, I heard the book was put on hold too and all that. He was supposed to have his book come out last April. Didn't they delay it because of all the bad?
It was still in production last April.
Okay. Yeah. See,
but then whenever it got done, it takes a while for that to go through the review and the DOD before they're going to let any of that stuff out. Damn.
It could take another year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
supposedly August or sometime of this year is what the peeps are saying at this point.
That's what I was just going to say. Yeah. It'll be an interesting book. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what'll be in it, but
maybe more stuff. I would probably guess is more stuff about his encounter that he had.
Good.
Yeah,
I'd like to hear about that.
Yeah, I mean, even the stuff when he came around last spring, he wasn't supposed to go out there because they wanted to save all that information for the book.
Yeah. You don't want to blow everything. Yeah, I get it. But still, then why is he doing it? For the book, for the money? That's what I don't like too. You can't win in this field, no matter what you do.
Yeah, I guess we're not the only one who writes book. Because we're not writing books at this point to try and monetize on it. But you just have to look at all the opportunities he could have had. And there's some money you're going to make out of the book, but it's not going to be that much. So it's kind of like you look at Greer's got a ton of books. Everybody's got a ton of books that's out there. Anyone who's in this, look at who else? Jacques Vallée. He's got a shit ton of books. They all have all of these books to get out there. And I used to say, those who can do, those who can't teach, and those who can't do or teach write books.
Yeah, right. Right. Isn't that, you just added on to those who can't do, teach, right? Isn't that what that is? Yeah. That's funny, actually. Yeah, I like that.
I heard that.
So what do you got coming up on your show? Anybody? Anything
talking about Sentient, the NRO's new spy platform that has actually been used to actually go ahead and find Tic Tacs.
All right. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Haven't seen any yet.
Yeah, that's what we're covering tonight. It was either that or talk about the same thing that you were covering before I interrupted your show, the Leslie Keener interview over at Theories of Everything.
It's a good interview. Shit, I just forgot. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. Now, I have a theory that Tic Tacs don't exist. I may be wrong, but the story of Fravor and Dietrich talking about what they saw, doesn't it sound like they saw a submarine under the water that actually can be a transporter for Tic Tac or drones or whatever they are? And that's the disturbance they saw. And then, adrenaline's going, they're flying around and playing with this thing, and then it just takes off. I don't know.
Christmas break 2005 and 2004, 2005, 15 to 20 feet from where I'm sitting right now, out of my garage by out the refrigerator. I sat with my former brother-in-law, AJ, who was on one of the E2 Hawkeyes, who actually got buzzed by one of those craft. And I heard about it. Basically, they were flying the E2 Hawkeye. All of a sudden, the Tic Tac is up on the left side of the plane, and their plane starts to react from it. Electronics start to freak out, and it's there for about 20 seconds or so. It's suddenly on the other side of the plane doing the same thing. The thing jets off instantly, and then they're called back to come and land. So I've heard about the Tic Tac incident going back to months after it happened. So do I have any doubt about it? No, because I talked to one of the guys who was on part of the Nimitz crew.
Got it. All right. Yeah, I know they're out there somewhere. It's just I haven't seen one yet. That's the frustrating thing. And nobody's recorded one over land, which Ryan Graves also said nobody's seen one over land. I was surprised he said that in an interview too. So
have you seen that movie going back from the 50s where they had one flying over Catalina Island?
Oh God, I've seen everything.
Guy from NASA who actually recorded it.
Maybe I don't.
Yeah.
They've
been around probably for a while. Who knows why we haven't seen them or what's gone on. But basically what we learned coming out of a Balloon Gate was that all our radar and all of our operators have had all their data filtered. So anything that they're seeing, they're not seeing the truth. Oh, look at that. W. Decker is not.
Yeah, I saw. Hope we see more examples of this kind of ability to make amends and open the door to a more positive future. You both are providing a great example to us all. Thank you. I promise no more sappy comments after this. All right. That's all right, man. Thank you very much. Very, very kind, W. Decker. $20 again. Jesus. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good show. You got a 20 from me, 20 from Decker, and a 10 from Decker. There you go. That adds up quickly.
It does. And third phase is here, too. Good to see people in the community burying the hatchet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're not in our backs.
My brother.
What'd you say? What?
My brother was building a freaking Barney Rubble car when he was a kid. And he actually was trying to carve it, and he ended up with the freaking hatchet in his kneecap.
How?
Bad.
He was swinging like this and missed
on his knee, and oh my God. He had super ADD.
I would say so. It only takes 6 pounds of pressure or something like that. Doesn't take much. Oh, that poor guy.
Oh,
That's the worst. I banged my knee on a desk. I'm in agony. Anyway, well,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Thank you for at least coming on. The 20, of course. Thank you for the support.
Yeah, of course. I had a show. I'm curious.
Yeah, you did. That's exactly right. And I,
your face was priceless, and you're like, huh?
Well, I tried seeing if it was a fake Thomas Fessler account, but I'm like, well, why would a fake account give me $20? So I had a feeling it was you.
Yeah. Well,
but
good guess. I'm glad.
Yeah. What are the odds? And you weren't blocked. I never blocked you. I thought I did, but I didn't.
Might have, but not anymore.
No, I checked the other day to make sure when I was talking about the conversation you had or the email you had with Third Phase. Thanks, guys, for mentioning it.
Yeah.
Obviously, Thomas is here now. We are, I guess, burying the hatchet or starting off on another foot. Hey, so who's your team now? Just you?
It's me, and I've got a great crew of a bunch of guys who come in, and I call it my viewer call-in. I have the show open for viewers to call in every day, and I've got a great group of a bunch of guys who like to come in and be part of the show, but it's nothing official. Right now, it's pretty much me at the helm. It makes it a lot easier than trying to have someone who wants to be a co-host, but they're not a co-host, if you know what I mean.
I've been down that road years ago, which is why I'm solo. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll find somebody if you want. There's somebody out there for me that would be a great co-host someday, but for now, it is what it is.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier, less drama. And trust me, that's better for everything, because then we get control over what's going on, and we control our own future. Because trust me, if Rob was still around right now, there's no way I would be here where I'm at right now.
Man, that's a shame. I don't like hearing that. But you're here.
Oh, yeah.
So you made the effort. I'm making an effort, and that's how you start, guys. And you can't thank you enough for coming on here.
Have a great day. I actually have to schedule my freaking show.
Oh, shit. You're on tonight at 9?
Oh, no, I'm on. Yeah, exactly 9 o'clock.
Okay. All right. Well, good talking to you, I guess. And
absolutely. Good catching up. And I'll catch you on the flip side, my friend.
And I guess now I can unblock you from Twitter.
Same here.
All right. Good talking, man. Thanks for the supers and the other gentleman who did W. Decker.
Yeah,
thanks.
Absolutely.
And then Bub right now. Thank you. All right, Mr. Fessler. Take care, and we will talk soon.
Absolutely. Later, buddy. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. That was fun. Wow. I still have, I don't know why I just got goosebumps. Interesting. Den Bub, thank you for the $7 Canadian coin right there. A super dono right now is the perfect time. Thank you. Pure love. Why not? But I'm going to say this, and I'm meaning it. I'm saying this now. To be friends with Scambian, I can tell you this. Fat Tony will never happen. Okay? Wreaking Havoc, we said hi to each other recently, I think in New Year's, so hopefully, we could eventually talk again. Look, we all said things. It is what it is. Like I said earlier, I don't get affected by people name calling me anymore. You think you would lose that when you're 8 years old, right? Not me. I guess enough. It's like, you know what it is? It doesn't get you anywhere. And all it does is make everybody upset. I like drama, but I don't like it on purpose. Like an alien addict tries to do. That's not cool. But tonight, you could love it or hate it. But look, I have to live here in this body and on this show and do this every day and deal with all the people in the field that hate me, that love me, that don't know me, that, have questions for me or questioning everything I say. And it's a lot. And Thomas said it, doing this by yourself does take a lot of the stress off of worrying about what everybody else wants to do. I loved having a co-host. I really did. I had a really good co-host for a couple of years. And then he had a girlfriend and he thought that she liked me, and I'm married at the time. I'm not interested, but she must have said something to him that made him question And then he started questioning me. Hey, have you been talking to so-and-so? I'm like, it didn't work out after 6 weeks. Like, I mean, 2 years. That's what weak men do when they're in love. I've done it too. Love can make you do crazy things, say crazy things, but and I'm going to be, I'll be honest, like I try to be. I was very angry at Thomas, but I didn't hate him. It's different. That's why I thought it through after I spoke with Third Phase. And that night, I'm thinking, what's the harm in it? Why not? If he makes that effort, that's more than anybody has done. So you should reward those people with kindness and the effort. If I get screwed over again, look, shame on me. I think he was influenced. I've seen it several times over the years. I think he didn't want to deal with what was right next to him. And to be honest with you, it really seemed like it was coming from all those guys. And of course, he's the host of the show, so it all falls on him no matter what happens, right? Same thing would happen to me if I had a co-host. It would all fall on me. I get it. But you know what? My energy isn't into that scene. I'd rather enjoy what we do, and that's that. But you got to give the guy credit. Nobody else did it. But I like the way this happened. It happened over a period of a couple of months. And I don't know if it stems from earlier in the year when I said, I'm just not going to talk about it anymore. And I did use those words. We've got to, for the greater good of ufology, this ain't working. It was fun while it lasted. It served its purpose. We all learned from it. I'm a much better person than I think I am anyway. I don't have a lot of that anger. I let it all go. I forgave almost everybody except for Fat Fuck Tony and Scambian. And the biggest dickhead of them all, Darcy Weir. Yeah. He's still hitting me on stuff. He's still doing it to this day. Yeah. Yeah, but he might be in a lot of trouble for mail fraud. It's pretty scary what he did. I can't talk about it, but let me tell you, he did it. I know he did it. And I will find out in 2 days where all this shit came from. Anyway, it's good to be me today. I'm happy. I feel much better. See where it goes. Hey, I could be played again. Anyway, thank you, Denbub. Appreciate that support. $7. That's your signature right there. Yeah, 7699. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Let me see. Yes, Jim Bud Royale. I have seen your comments tonight. Very funny, actually. Hey, is that the same one or a different one? Oh, that's the same one. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So, as fun as that was, we still have a few minutes of show left. I don't even know I just want to keep talking about what just happened. I'm just in shock a little bit. Just like, it's weird, it's surreal is what it is. But that's how you have to do things, right? Like a Band-Aid. Right off. Just get it over with. That's all I wanted to do. When I was inviting all the people that hated me to come on the show, those 3 Tuesdays, said, come on, you can come on. Let's talk and figure it out. Let's get it over with. I wanted to know, what do you have to say? Let's lay it out. Nobody has to fight. Nobody has to yell. Nobody has to scream. Nobody chimed in. Then, as the Matrix works, boom. Could be, hey, when I first had Fessler on this show, it was good. So, I don't know. You know, I'm a believer in giving chances to people that are earnest in wanting to do it. All right. Now, I keep talking about it because it's just weird, you know, but it'll sink in later, and I'll be stoned, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I talked to Fessler today. I'm gonna be like, oh my God, I can't believe I just talked to Fessler. And then 5 minutes later, oh my God, I can't believe I talked to him. It's so weird. But I'm just saying this. I'm not giving that courtesy to Scambian, and I don't think he wants it. And FFT, Fat Fuck Tony, will never, ever be a part of anything we do. Ever. Oh, Scambian may have it. If Scambian did it the right way, well, we could probably bury the hatchet. I don't know if I want to yet. Oh, W. Decker again, a $5. You look so familiar, probably from his show. It's just hitting my brain. FWIW, for what it's worth. Thomas is sincere, and I am happy to be a new subscriber to your channel. Thank you. I appreciate it. W. Decker. And if anybody has any questions, you can just type it in all caps. If you don't want to do a super chat, I will peek back and forth, but we're almost done tonight. I see Samo. Samo, I don't know what happened tonight, why you kept cutting out, but I see you in the chat room, but it's different than video and a microphone. I know. We'll figure it out, my guy. I just found out that I could have 3 more co-hosts help out if you can't make it. So I'm going to assign somebody else tomorrow. Somebody will be another co-host of GUFON, and they could help the show if they want. I have somebody in mind. You already are. Oh my God, you see this thing? I can't get rid of this cough. And I know it's COVID. I can't get rid of it since September. Thank you, W. Decker. Seems like a nice guy, right? I mean, yeah, he's throwing money out, but it just seems like a nice guy anyway. He looks like a nice guy. But then again, so do I. No, just kidding. All right. Well, this will be interesting. I'm excited a little bit to, you know what I'm excited for? The possibilities. That's all. That's all. It'll be interesting to talk to, you know, those people. There's a lot of people over there since the last time we were there. It's blown up. So, yeah, we did a little too. Except for 7 months where we had 21 subscribers for 7 months. Sorry. Hold on a second. I want to change the background. It's annoying me for some reason. All right, we'll go with that. It's my go-to when I can't think. All right. My God. Let's finish up the show with some videos here. Let's pull this up. Oh my God, Sam Maranto? Oh, no. I'm not doing that guy. All right. Okay. All right, I'm back in action. All right, here we go. COVID. I like this. This is very well-known clip. I'm just playing this because I'm looking for another clip. But this will hold you over for, my God, for a minute. Now I got agita. You know, my nerves are going. I feel the sweat pouring out of my navel. Huh?
General Albert Stubblebine III, Bert, who had been head of Special Forces and Army Intelligence, he intercepted me after we had this major contact event out in Florida and near Pensacola. And he subsequently, about a month later, personally offered me $2 billion.
He just lied. I don't care. He's told this story 57,000 times. The big head drop, looking up, trying to conceal himself because he knows it's a lie. Nobody, no. Whoops, no. I look. That would be the dumbest move in the history of deals. Turning down $2 billion, right? 30 years ago. 25, whatever. To talk. Well, we're going to give you $2 billion so you don't look into the UFOs because you're somebody special, Dr. Greer. You know people, Greer. He couldn't say 2 million because that's not a lot. He couldn't say 200,000. That's too little. He couldn't say 20 million because that sounds made up. But 2 billion? That sounds legit.
To not pursue what I was doing and become part of his team.
Yeah, Stubblebine says, hey, I'll give you $2 billion if you come on my team. No, thank you. Yeah, Greer, because you know why that story's fun? Because nobody can prove shit. And number two, it makes Greer look like a hero, right? Wow, he really cares about the greater good. He turned down $2 billion just to talk about UFOs. No, Rich, it's more than just talking about UFOs. It's about researching every single thing because Greer is so scary to the government that they offered him $2 billion to not research UFOs. Bullshit! The fact that he even brings that up, I find it to be bullshit. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe third phase of moon. Maybe you know the story. I don't. All I know is what he tells us. Maybe there's a backstory to it. I haven't heard it. But all I know is that's a lot of bread. I mean, $1 billion. I would have said the same thing. But $2 billion? That's why he didn't go with $1 billion. Because $1 billion sounds made up. $2 billion, though. Oh, that sounds legit, too. So much fun, this field. It really is. I totally love everything about it and hate everything about it. COVID. The Origin of Time, The Big Bang with Brian Greene. I got this right here. I like this clip. We're going through the motions and emotions of ufology and the people within the field. Here we go.
Imagine you're walking on planet Earth and you pass by someone. You say, hey, can you point me in the direction of north? I want to walk in the northward direction. They point you, continue to walk. You pass by somebody else, say, hey, which way is further north? And they point you in that direction. But when you get to the North Pole and talk to somebody there and say, hey, how do I go further north? They look at you and say, whoa, that question doesn't mean anything because this is where north begins. There's no notion of going further north than the North Pole. And it could be that that spatial metaphor applies to time. Talk about 1 billion years ago or 10 billion years ago, but if you go to 13.8 billion years ago, the Big Bang, that may be where time started. And you can't go further back in time than the very origin of time.
I talked about that yesterday because I listened to that clip. Yeah. If I remembered I talked about it, I wouldn't have played it. That is interesting, though. Yeah. What is this? Oh, check this out. You know, in this world, you would think that we wouldn't find, like in this day and age, maybe even within the last 100 years, to find a new human species? Yeah, you got to listen to this. And of course, this is from Graham Hancock-a-doodle-doo. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In Russia, in Denisova Cave, they find a single pinky bone from a little finger. And they do the DNA testing on it. And what they discover is this isn't a Neanderthal. This isn't an anatomically modern human being. This is another human species who they named the Denisovan. It's another example of a missing chapter in the human story that is beginning to be pieced together. It's obvious now that we were not alone, that there were multiple other human species who were human enough to interbreed with us and leave DNA. And Denisovan DNA survives. Interestingly enough, it survives predominantly in Australasia, in Papua New Guinea and amongst Australian Aborigines.
And this Denisovan species was only discovered in, like, was it 2000 something?
Very recently, the 2000s. It's a very recent discovery. And
did they leave behind art? Did they leave behind art?
Better than that. They left behind certain physical objects which are extremely hard to explain. One of them is a green stone bracelet, also incredible, very fine needle.
That's wicked. I mean, it's one thing to have different species of birds, dogs, fish, etc. But to have a different species of humans on the planet at the same time? Sounds like an alien playground to me, right? They just came on down or came on up, what it depends on what you believe, or came on through from the other side and said we could have a lot of fun with these creatures. Look at them all. Thousands. They're everywhere. I want to thank Jan Dribitka for the $10.01 on PayPal. Jan is a continuing supporter of GUFON and a mucho gusto generoso person. Thank you very much. Jan. Yahoo! Remember Hensan? Do you guys remember Hensan? Hensan? Yeah, I started talking to Hensan. I was surprised. Haven't talked to Hensan in a long time. One of the first subscribers to GUFON. All right, let's get back to work. We're almost done. What time is it? All right, last. I got to play this. Can I just play this? It's a little bit of... I don't care. I'm just going to play it because I want to. It's a little political, but it's Joe Rogan talking about Biden, but it's interesting.
US is in a recession at the moment, but it's not allowed to be called a recession.
Oh, I can't believe this. Well, listen to this.
Well, the government's trying to not call it a recession, but it's...
Wikipedia article got changed.
Unbelievable.
Oh, dude.
No.
So
they redefined recession?
Yep. So recession used to be 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth.
Right. Not anymore?
Not on Wikipedia.
The White House press secretary defined the economy as being strong and the best economy we've had in over a decade. Have you seen her do that?
No.
It's hilarious. It's like the wildest gaslighting because she's doing all of these political hand maneuvers that people do.
Jeremy Corbell.
Moves that people do with their hands when they're talking and they're trying to display like confidence and control. And there's like, it's.
That's Corbell. That's Jeremy Ding Dong Corbell. Crazy eyes. I told you he's a bullshitter. Nobody talks like. Do you think you walk up to that guy in person and he's doing this? No. He's talking like this, and his hands are just gesturing, and just moving the normal. He doesn't walk up to you and go, I have got a great story. You are going to die when you hear this. Nobody does that. That's why he's a joke. He's such a bad actor. I mean, who makes a movie about Bob Lazar and he's in it for 27 minutes and 14 minutes he doesn't have any shoes on? He's like clam digging. He rolled up his jeans walking around like he's Karate Joe or something. I'm surprised he didn't throw a few kicks. Unbelievable, Corbell. Isn't that funny? I told you this is bullshit. I told you. Joe Rogan knows it. He's probably thinking of Corbell. Who else talks like that? Now I do, but I mean, who else talks like that? Me? Yeah. I want you to believe. I want you to believe. Trump should be doing this. Tic Tac. I saw the biggest Tic Tac ever. It's the most beautiful Tic Tac. Most beautiful white Tic Tac. I can't do Trump. You know that. The only thing I can say like Trump is China. And Melania. Me and Melania, we're talking about our hands. Melania's hands are the same as mine. All right, let's get out of here. I want to thank everybody. Before I go, I'm going to do what Jerry Springer does and go out on a final thought. But I want to thank the moderators and the super chatters tonight for all the support and your time. Thank you for that. I'll never be able to repay. And the newcomers and the veterans too. We saw a good thing tonight. So I hope it's going to progress into bigger and better things for all of us. For all of us, man. Because here's the deal. The government, and this was Thomas Fessler's first statement pretty much when he came in tonight. The government's corrupt. Which means Elizondo is part of it. Which means everything that they say cannot be taken literally. We know this. This is nothing new. It's been going on for almost 80 years. So why are we so surprised? Because everything was brought to us when Elizondo and TTSA came around. It was all brought to us in a nice package with a beautiful bow. And then they brought Elizondo in a year later. I thought, everybody did at the moment he came in, thought this is going to be the beginning of disclosure. He's going to get it. He's going to do it. But it seems Lou was a little more controlled when he was at TTSA. He didn't make the show, he didn't make all these interviews possible until he left. They wouldn't let him talk to anybody, right? TTSA wouldn't let him go out and venture out. They said, you can't. Somebody did. They controlled him back then, which is why he wanted to leave, so he could venture out and do what he wanted, which is what he did. Now, in that process, we got to see and hear a lot of new people in the field, and we saw and heard a lot of interviews with Lou Elizondo, not really answering any questions in his Lou-esque way of speaking. But nonetheless, that was an interesting time to be around in ufology. I'll never forget any of this. It has just been a ride. And, here we are at another point, a red letter day in ufology for GUFON. Maybe they feel the same way over there at the Fessler camp, but it is. It is. A lot of people look up to him. Listen to him, follow him, believe him. Which is why I had him on the show, because I thought he was doing a really good job. And unfortunately, we haven't watched each other's programs, although we've heard what each other has said. This is a strange day. And I said it before the show started that today now I know what it was all about. That's why it was a weird day. Because of what happened. If we, two people who weren't getting along for whatever reason it was at the time, can make up, start over, and do it for the betterment of the field, hell, we should get bonus points for the rest of the year just for making the effort. I didn't do it for me. I didn't do it for you. I did it for ufology, man. No, I did it for me. But to be honest, it is for the greater good. Because if we're great and we're good, well, we should be rewarded. The aliens will reward us with something. Wait, you'll see. In the next few days, I bet you something really amazing happens to one of us, me or Fessler. Maybe it's a dream. Maybe it's something that comes through the walls and just says, you know what you did is amazing. We're watching. Maybe it was something like that. A little head pops in from outside. We're watching everything. What a fantastic job with Fessler. We'll see you next time. That's how I feel like the spirits are around where I live because of all these old people walking around. The freaking hospital's up the street. Everything's up the street. People died in these homes. 45 years they've been around. Of course I'm having corpses walking around through the walls over here. What the hell? You heard the EVP. Oh my. Thursday, I'm going on Rebellious Ufology. No, Rebellious Unknown with Lynn and Caitlin and Dave. I have an EVP. It's a good one. God, is it weird. I don't know what it is, but I'll play it on their show. Why not? We'll give them something to listen to. You want to hear it now? Hold on. Maybe I'll play it right now. We could do it both nights. Yeah, what am I thinking? It's not like we're the news. Okay. Oh, wow. I got to show you the activity today. Chemtrails. Before we get out of here. Here. You won't be able to hear anything, but I don't know if you can hear that. I doubt it. Just wind in the phone. This was like right before the show, an hour and a half before, maybe a half hour. 45 minutes. Oh, no, this was an hour before the show. That's right. Just really, look, I got sundogs. You'll see the one over here. It's faded, but you'll see the other one. I was looking for UFOs for a little bit today. Got some sun. Chemtrails are in full swing here in Florida. And we are going to be, I don't even know. You know how I think chemtrails are used for weather modification? It seems like they're keeping that cold front away from Florida and this part of the world. I don't know why. I guess because we had freezing cold temperatures for several days and a lot of shit got killed. But I'm telling you, man, I feel confident in that. Here, this is the video you should be watching. Chemtrails. And they're just random. The airport is 80 miles from my home. I never see this stuff. This is, well, I say never. It's never right over me. Usually it's a ways away. But here, we've got the pulse technology, pulse propulsion. These are the airplanes with the engines that go pop, 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 and it's pushing. That's what these little rings are. It's what is it called? It's a farter, right? If they call it the farter, because it's like farts and it just keeps pushing it faster with each push. Right? And it keeps going faster. Look at that. UFO. Oh, never mind. Who do you think I am? Marie's UFOs? Oh! Forget about it. Check this out. I'll show you some pictures here. I was at my parents' house, of course, but yeah. There's a sundog right there, but I move it over. Hey, that's weird. Yeah, I can't let you see because I have some pictures of me in nothing, and I didn't hide them yet. All right, there's part of the sundog, and then here's the other one over here. See it? There it is. Look at the trails, though. See, this is the same type of rainbow that came out of the the river in Ohio with all that toxic shit. And here we have toxicity in the sky, chemicals in the sky giving that rainbow-ish reaction. It does look like a rainbow. Here it just looks more yellow-orange. But that's a dirty air. That's chemicals in the air, my friends. Here it is. Here's a bigger version. See it? Pew, pew. They're all around. They're everywhere. Here's another one. Yep. X marks the spot. For what? I have no idea. Here's another one. Just scattered. Yep. Scattered. Shube. Oh, here's a grand finale. Ready? Eggush. I told you. Look, there's a double X right there. Here's a third X. Ching ching, ching ching, ching ching. Why? Why do we have Zorro? Why is Zorro out here? Unbelievable, right? That's a lot of activity. I know. Here's my mom's dog. Yep, that's the little 9-pound dog I have to take care of. Here's where we were today. Just a little walkway. Isn't she cute?
Little Molly. She's a real cutie. This dog is extremely smart.
Smart dog. I can't believe how smart she is.
Reminds me of my...
She is just like Angus. I say it all the time.
Angus.
See? All right. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. We'll be back tomorrow night, and we'll have some fun. I didn't have a chance today, but I am still going. When you see the thumbnail that says Rich Giordano's videos have never been seen in 17 years, something like that, you'll know I got it working. I am going to definitely get it working. That's my goal for tomorrow, to show you the beginning of my UFO career on video. The videos that I have, I'm going to play them on the show. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to relive my life. You're going to love my life. No, you're going to hate it. But you're actually going to see a lot of great things, and I just can't wait. I've been waiting for 3 years to show you. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. Go to, I'll say it. What is the name of his show? It's Thomas Fessler's show is Disclosure. What is it? Hold on. I always forget the name of it. It is Disclosure Tonight. But I think he changed it to Thomas Fessler now. That's smart. That was a good thing to do. Hey, he's got almost 6,000 subs. Good job. When we last saw him, he got 1,000 and skipped town. Remember that? All right, go ahead and check him out. Why not? And then maybe go and check out Dave Scott right after at midnight. All right, everybody. Then you wake up tomorrow. You got Alien Girl 111 at 7. I may come on at 8 just for the halibut. No, I won't. All right. We are Truthology. Oh, Truthology for ufology for the greater good. We'll see you tomorrow right here on YouTube. Alien bless. Alien bless.
Warning. Warning. Failure. Control life. Warning.
Unidentified flying object.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your soul. What you just said